Relationships are never easy, especially if you're president of the United States and dealing with totalitarian leaders. Leaders who some say President Trump has gone out of his way to praise. So is Trump being too nice, or is his tone just right? I sat down with some Long Islanders on both sides of the political aisle to see what they think. Is Donald Trump too complimentary to what we consider totalitarian leaders across the world? Let's start with you, Valerie.
I think a lot of things that he says and he does, I mean, looking back on the last 8 years with President Obama, I don't see the press coming out saying, was it presidential for him to bow to the Saudi Arabian leaders? But I do see them saying, well, he mentioned that Kim Jong-il was a smart dude.
What about inviting the president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, to the White House? Now, this is a man who has boasted killing his own citizens, killed thousands of them. Is that okay?
I don't think any of them should touch the ground that I walk on, including most of the people at the UN.
He sees the characteristics that he admires, whether it's because he's a businessman or because he's a leader. He sees those characteristics and he speaks about them. And not unlike his tweets, he's not necessarily paying attention to the words he uses. But in order for somebody to be head of a government and to be able to wield that kind of power, there has to be something that got them there, right? It can't be stupidity, unless it is.
He will compliment if he feels that the person deserves a compliment.
Do you feel that he is being appropriate by complimenting?
It's appropriate. Why not?
Okay.
Yes.
Is it appropriate to invite the president of the Philippines to the White House?
I actually believe, yes, it is, because you are trying to make peace.
What about when he says it would be an honor to meet Kim Jong-un?
If he says it will be an honor for him, I believe it will be.
We need to focus on what Donald Trump is representing to the entire world. And I think really it more speaks to his lack of understanding and his lack of awareness. I mean, his intellectual depth is about as thick as a sheet of paper. And for him to sort of, just willy-nilly say, oh, why don't you just come, we'll kick back, we'll have a beer. I mean, it shows a dramatic lack of understanding.
He's got to watch what he says. It's very, when you're president, people take your words critically. So, in essence, am I happy that he invited this Philippine dictator over? No, I'm not. Absolutely not.
Donald Trump would like to know what his competition's all about, would like to know what he's dealing with on a daily basis. This is a way for him to get to know these people. Listen, should he compliment them and say, I'm honored and all that? That's entirely up to however he's going to bring these people in close enough to him to learn more about what we're dealing with. So on a professional, non-political side, I think he's doing the right thing.
But Glenn, wouldn't you say that obviously there's a way to go through that? Nobody, I dare say there's anybody on this panel that wouldn't want to see us mend fences with countries that we're in conflict with. He's not really doing the homework. He's not really coming from a place of a plan of attack where he could perhaps make some progress in this area.
Well, you heard what they had to say. Now it's time to tell us what you think. Just go to our Facebook page and post your comments. You can also go to news12.com and click on that Long Island Talks Trump. It's right there at the top of the page. And that's where we have all of our local coverage of the president that you will not see on any other station.